The debate on declaring bandits, especially those operating in the northwest and north-central zones as terrorists, has been on the front burner for months. Many are of the opinion that if bandits are declared terrorists, the armed forces will be able to decisively deal with them by applying the same measures adopted against Boko Haram and Islamic State of West Africa Province ISWAP terrorists operating in the northeast. The Minister of Defense, Major General Bashir Magashi, retired, says that the need to follow due process is responsible for the delay in declaring bandits as terrorists. Public affairs commentator Bolauba is in the studio to discuss this. Good morning. Thank you for joining us.
Good morning. Always a pleasure to be on your set.
Right. Now, the call for, or the debate for bandits to be declared terrorists has been on for a long time until now, when the minister announced that, you know what, the delay is because there is a due process that has to be followed. And a lot of Nigerians are wondering and saying that, but it didn't take so long for the Islamic movement of Nigeria to be prescribed as such, and it did not take IPOB to be prescribed as such as well. Why is it taking so long? What is this process? But before we go into discussing that, what do you make of his comments saying that there is a process that has to be followed?
You've answered the question. You've answered the question
really?
by alluding to the facts that make his pronouncement somewhat hypocritical and lacking truth. It didn't take so long to declare IPOB a terrorist organization. They went through the courts. The Attorney General, the same Attorney General of the Federation, was the one that articulated that machination and got IPOB, even when IPOB was not a prima facie registered corporate entity in Nigeria, got IPOB labeled as a terrorist organization. It didn't take so much because Shia Islam happens to be a minority sect in Nigeria, and those who are in leadership in Nigeria are mainly Sunni Muslims. It didn't take so much.
You think these sentiments are coming to play?
These are not sentiments. These are facts, my sister. Facts that can be checked, that can be empirically checked and scientifically monitored. They stigmatized. I'm not one supporting the foolishness that some of the youths of that movement conducted themselves in, killing themselves, using stones to face, armed men. I'm not rationalizing that, but it was easy. So why is it now so procedurally cumbersome? My sister, for the same Attorney General who got those two organizations using the same machinery of the law to be labeled as terrorist organizations, and is a bit procedurally, so we have to be patient. Look, the irony of this case was when your senior producer called me the day before yesterday and said he would want me to be on this set. As I usually do, I believe there's no problem we want to solve in Nigeria. In fact, I tell my wife, even in my business, I tell my business partners, there's no problem we want to solve that has not been solved somewhere else before.
Right.
Just read and read. Once you have equipped yourself with adequate information, you know what? I was even shocked that the methodology of just flippantly labeling organizations as terrorist organizations may be inimical to our security objective.
How so?
Fantastic, my sister. I went into my archive of the Economics magazine and I went to check how the international community deals with the label of terrorism. I discovered that it's one of the most nebulous on the face of the earth. Amongst you cannot use some words in international politics or international law, such as genocide, because there are very strict conditions that must be met before such words and terminologies could be used. Right. But terrorism is one of the most fluid, one of the most nebulous. Now, I then discovered, to my chagrin, and I should have known because I've been reading international news for this long. I then discovered that to fight terrorism, the effective methodologies of fighting terrorism has been one, my sister, political understanding between those who are the leaders of the country and those who claim to have issues that they are fighting or killing people for. Political, most effective. Secondly, the second most effective methodology is simple police sleuthing, simple policing or criminal justice efficiency. My sister, we have seen that in the case of Nigeria, and I want to use IPOB for a good example, that tells me that if President Muhammadu Buhari were to be a bit less arrogant in the way he's dealing with the IPOB people and be a bit more conciliatory and give our people, our brothers and sisters from the East, the sense that he really cares as the leader of Nigeria and he cares about them, IPOB would have lost the degree of receptibility it has gotten now in the East. But the snobbery, the condescension, even Bola Abawu, who is not an Igbo man, is now an IPOB member. Honestly, mentally and psychologically. Honestly, because I feel these people have been oppressed. So, and I've seen from...
Are you saying the handling of the situation in the South
is Peru?
Is something that has to be, is a show of oppression? Sit at home, others?
My sister, the oppressive methodology that IPOB is using to will ultimately boomerang against IPOB. But I'm sitting here to tell you that the leaders of this country, the political leaders of this country, have more effective and potent tools, empirically tested over decades. I did research on terrorism over 50 years, and I came to the conclusion that from the Shining Path in Peru to the IRA in Northern Ireland, the troubles that lasted for more than 30 years, to all the terroristic organizations in the Far East, my sister, political engagement works more. Number two,
hasn't that been on the table before?
To say that has been on the table for IPOB is not fair. It's not fair. To be honest with you, President Muhammadu Buhari could do better, especially as it entails engaging with Eastern Nigerians, not Eastern Cameroonians.
How
not
about
Eastern Togolese?
The focus also here is
the focus here
bandits.
To
we
be
have
honest,
seen
I was one of
governments who engage, state governors engage with some of these bandits.
We have federating units that have been effectively hollowed out in the look. Our constitution is a big organic lie. To think you have effective entities in this state government is an intellectual joke. My sister, the government that is most reckoned with in Nigeria is the government of this federation. And I'm saying that the peculiar nature of terrorism that is happening in the Northwest could have been effectively deracinated or curbed if the criminal justice infrastructure were to have been properly equipped, if the manpower peopling the criminal justice infrastructure were to have been effectively trained.
Right.
And we now have ourselves. You know, the third thing that shocked me when I was doing my research on terrorism, just wanting to know how the international criminal laws procedure of how a group is labeled a terrorist organization. I also came to the conclusion, as simple as that apart from political engagement, apart from effective use of the policing infrastructure, I also discovered that most times terroristic activities and phenomena are germinated and nurtured by misgovernance and poverty.
Right.
My sister, if you take a cursory look at the northwest of Nigeria, if you take a cursory look at the decimation that is happening to our people in North Central, and those who are perpetrating this thing, who are perpetrating this, notwithstanding the fact that many of them are not Nigerians. You see, the body language that we, the phraseology we use, body language.
Yes.
Notwithstanding the fact that many of them are not bona fide Nigerians, something is saying that it is all about the nature of the leadership we have now. And that is why this government must review itself and look at how, one, it uses hypocritical standards. When you are facing East, you are using one standard that is somewhat restrictive and very, you don't like some of the words I use. So let me, people will understand my gesticulation at home. And when they're looking at the Northwest, they will, placatory,
the situations are different.
And yet institutions,
the situation across sections are different, and so perhaps the approach.
You see, in logic, you are right, my sister, and I like engaging, members of the opposite sex who are intellectually as robust as you. Intellectually, you are right, but the irony of life. There is no facade good enough to cover hypocrisy. People see through it. The human beings just see. In any race, in any country, people just see through hypocrisy. And when you are hypocritical in the way you are attending to issues, you will not command the genuine engagement that you need from people. So I'm sitting here now thinking, the Bola Oba before Nino Atiba called me would have said, declare them terrorist organization, just go for them. Typical what most news analysts say. But I hate to have seen a body of facts inconsistent with my emotional or sentimental disposition, and yet I will say, because it will make me look good, that I'll be speaking to my sentiments instead of the facts. My sister, this government is doing a shoddy job on how to fight terrorism, which is bringing its ugly head in different, wearing different balaclavas across Nigeria. So
invariably what you are saying is declaring them terrorists will not change anything.
My sister, the level to which the peculiar form of terrorism in northwestern Nigeria will be deracinated or extirpated or cropped or called, the level would be to the degree to which, let me reduce it to the barest minimum, to which an average police recruit is well taken care of and knows that if he goes or if she goes to the northwest of Nigeria to do what policing should be in any civilization, her interest, his interest, even if he or she loses his or her life,
family will be taken care of,
and he or she would die a hero. As it is now, I was in Abuja a couple of days ago, and I wouldn't know what I was discussing with a friend of mine, very close friend of mine and business partner, Kente Kishola, and he said, Bola, you know what? We must celebrate these soldiers members of our armed services. And I said, why are you? I said, why are you? He said, you know what? Bola, of all the corruption in this country, he said he just wondered why these people are still facing other people shooting them. And they are shooting back to protect us, given the level of corruption that we are sunken into in this country. We must celebrate these guys. We must find a way of rewarding them whilst they are alive, that we appreciate what they are doing. And we have seen across the world that simple policing effectiveness curbs terrorism too, to a large extent. So we're doing something wrong.
So now that you have come up with all of these measures, some would say
I didn't come up with it. The facts of history.
Yes, the facts of history. What your
so
research...
don't make me feel I'm a genius. I'm not.
Okay, okay. Let's leave that
the stupid
conversation.
From Mushin, why would he come here now and be...
Now, from what you have gathered, one would think that this information should also be right at the fingertips of these people who hold positions that should drive policies that will equip the police and ensure effective policing of the people. Because there has been calls for reformation. There has been calls for a change. You know, that was one of the reasons we had the NSAS, so to speak. Yet, nothing has seemingly changed a year after. Is this why we are saying that perhaps we are being hypocritical? We don't have the we are not showing the political will to address these matters, and that proscribing them will not change anything, because we have a situation on our hands and something has to be done as quickly as possible.
One of the reasons why I enjoy sitting on your set, jokes apart, and I'm not saying this to flatter you, is that you ask questions, but you know, you ask questions not because you just want to make a case for asking questions. You also load your questions with some very appreciable facts. Now, let me fully agree with the way you've posited your question. You see, one of the greatest problems we are facing now in leadership in Nigeria, not only in the public sector, not only political and in the public sector, but even in the private sector, is that we have people who are largely myopic, people who are not given to research, people who don't have institutional memories running institutions. And when you are unfortunate in any society to have leaders who are just basically reactive rather than proactive in whatever they do, my sister, now the country or the society will be in the kind of mess that Nigeria is in now. What's the need for me? No. This one, we are just short-termism, if there is a terminology like that. Short-termism has really ridiculed sustainable development in our society.
So nothing like low-hanging fruits that we can easily just tap into.
There are low-hanging fruits. But you don't build a society on low-hanging fruits alone. We have even gotten used. When I started hearing palliatives in my life, as an avid newsreader, when I started hearing palliatives, I think about 15, 20 years ago, it was meant to be a shoddy alternative to the best answer to a problem. Nigeria now, we have even institutionalized palliatives. As we speak now, this government, the lowest hanging fruit at this juncture is that this government should find a way of resourcing our police force, especially the human element. TVC may be a rich organization with all the paraphernalia of broadcasting and whatever, the largest or the tallest this thing in Nigeria. But my sister, if you take this beautiful woman away from the camera, there will be vacuum. People don't watch vacuum. And the extent to which people are enamored this morning is the extent to which your skill has held them to be, okay, because some will be looking at your beautiful face, don't mind. And my brother, I'm not chasing that, she's my sister. But having said that, skills matter.
Right.
We have so derobed our heroes of the requisite welfare needed for them to do what we know policing has done to curb terrorism worldwide. That's our lowest hanging fruit. Another low hanging fruit, Baba, engage.
All right, that's the fine place to leave it. Public affairs commentator Okpala Oba, thank you so much for your time.
Always a pleasure to be on your side. Thank you for the privilege.